First of all, one has to define what are the African needs. In energy, in financing of energy and climate finance, there's usually, we talk of adaptation and mitigation, of climate resilience. We need them all. And in Africa in particular, we have needs of several kinds. We don't only need renewable, we need sustainable. We need baseload. So we need much more than what is only discussed here. But climate finance has to cover both the very heavy infrastructure issues and the soft ones. So African local needs are huge. The renewable agenda will support us effectively over the next 20 to 30 years, even 40 years. But in the meantime, we also have to be investing in the normal fossil fuels to support the, let's say, providing stable energy sources to start off with. So I'd say climate finance is very relevant to the African local needs. And, but climate finance has to be seen as part of a bigger picture of financing of the energy agenda for the continent. That's really working with the local communities, understanding the difference between what's necessary in the cities, what's necessary in the rural areas, leveraging your comparative advantages if you have hydro, if you have wind, solar, you might have several of the above, the biomass. There's different ways of seeing the energy mix that you'll need. But relevant, what is important is that you make sure that you are within what's agreed internationally and what will allow you to achieve as much autonomy in the energy space in the next 20 to 30 years and which is financially viable. Actually, the bank has got several initiatives going on, and this is linked to the President's agenda, which is the high fives. As you know, the banks, first of all, the bank has a 10-year strategy, which is our objective is an inclusive growth and a transition to green growth. So we do have, within our overall overarching objective as an institution, moving towards green growth. Within that space, which is quite large, the President has given us 5 priorities. He says we've got to make sure that we light up and power Africa. He said we've got to feed Africa. We've got to industrialize Africa. We've got to integrate Africa. And we've got to make the life of the people of Africa better. So for us to do that, energy is essential. And we do have several initiatives going on. One of the first ones is, first of all, for us to internally reform ourselves, to adapt to the new needs. We spent the whole day listening to different initiatives, be it from the private sector, the public sector, grant money that's available, several studies that have been done that are promising of sustainable ways of supporting the electricity and energy agenda. Well, the bank is really transforming itself also to be able to support that agenda. And we've got now a new complex, which means that we'll have part of our staff that will be dedicated to energy, be it supporting, transforming the current utilities companies in the countries, providing advisory work on the different energy mixes that will be the most sustainable for the countries in the years to come, linking up as well to the agenda of 2063 of the African Union. So we're talking 40 to 50 years down the road. Also, very much supporting the renewable energy space because we are very conscious that Africa has a lot of potential with renewable energies. But we must never forget that all this climate discussion, we're not the polluters. We are the victims. Now, we shouldn't be only living as victims, but we have to make sure that people understand polluters have to pay and help the people that have suffered to actually reach sustainable energy and also have the energy mix that is most effective for them to reach a level of development for their countries to be able to provide jobs and a quality of life for their people. So the bank is very much involved in these initiatives. One of them is the African Renewable Energy Initiative that was announced last year. All these are linked to the international COP22, 23, 21 agenda, which is talking of 2030, universal access to energy. The bank has even being a bit more optimistic, 2025. And within those initiatives, a lot have been mentioned today. There's the initiative for renewable energy. There's initiatives linked to transforming the utility companies in the countries, initiatives linked to providing financial options and financial facilities for both a sustainable energy and, to a certain extent, the fossil fuel energy. And so basically, Africa is very much going to benefit from all these changes. And the bank has very many initiatives that are still being rolled out, very much linked to agriculture, very much linked to job creation, very much linked to resourcing, sourcing the financing for these initiatives locally, and not expecting us to find the money outside the continent. We can find it inside. We have it here.